What is up, guys? Welcome to Wild Pursuit, and in this video I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process on how to kill a turkey, which is kind of ironic because killing a turkey is anything but step-by-step. But all the same, I'm still going to try and pull the general steps of a turkey hunt and put them into this video so that you can understand how to call in and kill a turkey. And if you can master the 6 steps that I'm going to show you today, which are locate the turkey, move, take the bird's temperature, call, reel, and kill, I can pretty much guarantee you, if you have turkeys, you're gonna kill turkeys. So, here we go. And step 1 is locate the turkey. There's a lot of ways to locate a turkey. You can roost the bird the night before you go hunting. You can scout and just generally know where the turkeys like to be. But mainly, you're gonna go out and blow a locator call, which will make the turkey gobble so that he gives his position away so that you can do your move. And the most common way to do this is with an owl hooter. A lot of people just do the owl with their mouth. And that works great if you can do it. Or you can use a owl hooter like this one, which I actually sell. There's also other styles like this one. They all work, but generally you want the more higher pitched noises to get that higher noise to travel across. And if you can hear it echoing back to you, it means it's getting far enough in order for the turkey to hear. You can also crow call, which is another very common way to locate turkeys. Or once again, you can use a call. I sell these also. And generally the ones you blow tend to be higher pitched and tend to carry over the mountains a lot better than just your voice. And there's a ton of other ways out there to locate a turkey, whether it's bawling like a cow. Some people use a goose call. You can just use a regular turkey call. That works well also. Because they're basically just trying to make a noise that a gobbler will gobble at. But if you do the locator call, and the gobbler responds, he just gave away his position, and you now know where he's at. And now we're ready to move on to step 2, which is move, or get into position. For this step, it can be really helpful to have an app like onX on your phone that you can look and see the typography on the ground and figure out where to go in order to call from. And when choosing the place to move to, you want to keep in mind, you want to be where the turkey wants to be. If there's a huge river and the gobbler's here, I'm not going to go on the other side of the river where the gobbler's very unlikely to cross to just to get to me. He might do it, but probably not. And if you know of a place nearby with lots of scratchings, that is likely where he's going to be headed because he knows hens tend to come there. And if you sound like a hen from that spot, he hears hens regularly, it's not going to seem out of place to him. Because if you're calling from the side of the road, usually the turkey's not going to be hearing hens yelping from the road. So he's going to be like, that doesn't quite seem right. I am not going over there. And when deciding how close to make your setup to the bird, you have to keep the terrain in mind. You're going to want to be able to find a hill to put in between him and you so he cannot see you the whole way. You could even get into as close as 200 or 300 yards depending on what the situation is. And after you have quietly gotten in position, we are ready to move on to step 3. But step 3 and 4 are sort of the same, so we're going to combine step 3 and 4, which is take the bird's temperature and then call. And the reason you're going to want to take the turkey's temperature is so that you know how much to call and how to call. Because if he is super excited and pumped, gobbling, 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 you're going to want to match that. But if he is barely gobbling, super quiet, not really in the mood to get super loud, you're also going to want to match that. But you're still going to have to let him know you're there so that he knows to come over to you. So how do I take his temperature? Well, I'm going to start off pretty quiet. Just in case he's not super hot, I don't want to overdo it and blow the hunt. I'm going to start off slow and then decide what to do from there with something like this. And if he does not respond, I am going to stay quiet and stay quiet a very long time. Continuing doing that soft stuff, scratching in the leaves, making sure he knows I'm there, but I'm also stopping long enough to listen, making sure he's not coming, hopefully staying in contact with him to make sure he's not leaving. Because if he is, then I might need to make another move and try calling from another place to see if that changes anything. But what we want him to do is to hammer off right away at that call. And if he does that, I'm going to respond like this. And ideally, he will hammer off at that right away. And you're going to do the same thing all over again. And if he hammers off again, you are now setting the hook. And I will probably get loud one more time if he's still hammering off. And now you just set the hook. And it is time to change up what you're doing a little bit. Because in nature, the hen goes to the gobbler. But what we're trying to do is to get the gobbler to come to us, or the hen. The way we're gonna do this is we just got him pumped up. We are gonna ghost him. He's gonna continue gobbling here to keep us hyped, but if all of a sudden we ghost him, he's gonna be like, wait, what's going on? And ideally, he's going to stop gobbling and start marching your way. And this is where we get to step 5, which is reeling in the turkey. And with the mouth call on my mouth, I am going to be so sharp. I am listening so carefully, watching the ridges, ready for the second that gobbler could pop out. But while it can be a good idea to totally be quiet, because you do not need to worry about him pinpointing you, after hearing you doing all that cutting, that gobbler knows exactly where you are. And because when they pop over that hill or behind the tree, they're not going to be seeing a turkey. So they're going to look for something else. And then they're going to see you. And you have to take that shot fast. I want to know exactly where he is and where he's going to pop up over the hill, so that I can be aiming straight at the turkey when he pops over the hill. And to do that, I'm not going to get loud. Because if I get loud all over again, I'm basically telling him, hey you, whoa, stop, I'll come to you, that's what it's supposed to be. You gobbled, you just gobble over there and keep on gobbling and let me know where you are and I'll head right on over. But you don't want that. So you're just going to be super quiet and maybe put out a few 3-note yelps, a couple purrs, couple clucks, maybe some scratching leaves just to let him know you're there and to maybe get him to gobble here and there just so you can keep track of him. And I will be using a mouth call at this time, just so that I can have my hands freed up, holding on the gun, ready to shoot in case he pops up anytime. And now that you're reeling him in, you need to be ready for step 6, which is killing the gobbler. And when you're getting ready for that gobbler to pop over the hill, you need to be so alert, pointing your gun exactly where you think he's going to pop over the hill. Because as soon as he pops out, he is going to be looking for that turkey that he sees. And if he doesn't see the turkey, he's going to be like, something's fishy here. And very quickly pick you out. And this is where you need to aim for the waddle and make that kill shot as fast as possible, because as soon as he picks you out, it will not be long before he's gone. And if he doesn't come over the hill looking super tight and just comes walking over the hill, I will generally give a short yelp just to make him stop and look, so that I have a nice static target to aim at instead of a bobbing head, which is really hard to shoot. And I would stop him with something like this. Or... And ideally, the turkey's going to be about 35 yards. And this whole time, I'm likely going to be using the green ghost, which is my favorite call that I make. If you're interested in this call or any of my other locator calls or any of the other calls I make, go ahead and email this email address and we'll get you a call. But even if you do all these steps correctly, it's not going to mean anything if you don't sound like a good real turkey. Which is why I made this video, which basically breaks down all the turkey calls and what is the very best turkey call out there on the market. So make sure to go watch that. And if you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you'd like it and then subscribe. We have a lot more fun content coming up. Turkey season is right around the corner. And we also deer hunt, fish, trap, and do pretty much everything else outside. So yeah, this has been The Wild Pursuit. Who cannot hit this? You're the one. Hey!